distant cousin, the only living relative of the giraffe who didn't have to adapt the long neck here in the forest because all of the food is pretty close by. Again, speaking of the forest, where we are is a place called the Little Ituri Forest. Ituri means little in Swahili, so welcome to the little forest. You'll see how little it is in a moment. Most of the animals here have master camouflage, so you want to keep your eyes open. Behind every thick bush and tall tree could be an animal or a very convincing shadow. Oh wow. Coming up on the right-hand side, you see a large bird called a saddle-billed stork. There's actually a couple of them. When I say large bird, I do mean large, folks, standing about 5 feet tall with a wingspan of about 9 feet. You see them on the right-hand side. There's one in the, kind of in the corner over there, and then one at the top. Now, the ground's pretty stomped out on the left-hand side. Could be home to a rhino. Black rhinos are known to live around here. There we go. Back against the wall on the left-hand side, you see a black rhino. Now, they are rare, folks. There's less than 5,000 of them left in the world. And that's because of poaching. They're hunted for their horns. Ironically, those horns are made out of the same material that your fingernails are made out of, called keratin. There's another black rhino up there on the left. At the edge of the forest, there's a river called the Safi River. That's where we're going next to see if we can find some hippos. But before we go, take a look on the right-hand side. That light tan-colored antelope there is called a greater kudu. Second tallest antelope in the African wild, female by the looks of her. She doesn't have horns. The males are the ones who have horns that spiral up like a spiraling staircase. And on the left-hand side at the top of the hill, the reddish-brown antelope with white stripes are called bongos. And on the left-hand side, you're looking at a bloated hippos. My back row, let's make sure that little one is seated for me, please.
He needs to sit down.
Once again, make sure the little one is seated back there. Yeah, I got a mirror. I can see it all. Now you're looking at the bloated hippos. That's right. Not everything here is called a herd. That's called a bloat. Born about 85 pounds. They'll grow up to be about 5,500 pounds. They get pretty big. Ironically, they're herbivores. They eat about 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation a day. And the large white birds on the island on the left-hand side, those are called pink-backed pelicans. The backs aren't pink right now, but during mating season, their backs will turn pink. It's actually how they pick their mate. The brighter the pink, the better. And we have a lot more to do and a lot more to see, and only 2 weeks to do it all, and I plan on packing it all in. Besides, I drive so fast, 2 weeks, and then with their mouths open, that's how they regulate their body heat. They can run 10 miles per hour on land, and I can drive 8 miles per hour, so we're gonna get out of here. Oh. Or not. That does not sound good. Okay. Well, hopefully that's the only bridge we have to deal with. Inside of West Savannah, there's a place called Monkey's Point. That's where we're going next to see if we can find some mandrills. Rafiki resembles a mandrill. You know the guy. Asante sana, squash banana, that guy. Rafiki in Swahili means friend. There's some knocked over trees. It means we're close to elephant country. We may get to see both. The pregnancy lasts 22 months, close to 2 years. And they'll stay with their mothers anywhere between 13 to 15 years old, so somewhat similar to what humans do, give or take a few years. Full grown, they weigh about 10,000 to 15,000 pounds. To put that in perspective, that's about half of what this truck weighs. Speaking of my truck, let's see if it still floats. Oh, would you look at that? Greater flamingos. Lightest and largest of the flamingo family, standing about 5 feet tall. They are born gray. They turn pink over time because of their diet on shrimp and krill, high in a chemical called keratin. A flock of flamingos is called a flamboyance. You see a wildebeest coming up close on the right-hand side. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have never seen an island shaped like that before. That's an oddly shaped island.